Hello everyone, patching into our latest update for the United States. So we're going to look at weather next 10 to 14 days across America. Day 10 will take us to around the 16th of August, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS, which runs to around a couple of weeks. And we'll have a look at CFSV2 at the end of video next 4 weeks, which will take us into the beginning of September. So I should get on that for you very short. Just say that these USA forecasts are YouTube exclusives, so we don't embed these to website GavsWeatherVids.com. These are just on YouTube for the time being. So if you want to see our USA forecast on a Monday and on a Thursday, please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to give us a like on video if you enjoyed it, and let us know in the comments what you think. Right then, so we're going to start off with the situation in the tropical Atlantic. Things have got a lot quieter for the time being in the tropics. We do have one disturbance area just here, this yellow X. That is disturbance 1 with a 0% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours and a 0% chance of cyclone formation in the next 5 days. So as there is no chance of this becoming a tropical cyclone in the next 2 or 5 days, I think we should move on from that very quickly. This is how the latest wind flow chart is looking from earthnullschool.net. So you can see we are bringing easterlies through the tropical Atlantic, and I suppose we're just really waiting at the moment now for our next disturbance areas to start getting going. But for the time being, things have got a little bit quieter in the tropical Atlantic. Well, Richard, coming back to northern parts of the state, so these are the 500 millibar height anomaly flow charts of Penn State University for the next week to 10 days, with the ECMWF on the left and the GFS on the right. So 500 millibars is now in absolute high pressure, low pressure, up being moved around by the jet stream. Red extrapolates high pressure, blue extrapolates to low pressure. And we can see that within the 7 to 10 day time frame, which does take us to around the 16th of August, the ECM brings back this large ridge that has been quite an omnipresent feature through this summer, brings back this ridge to the north and the northeastern part of the states, which is going to send the jet stream northwards and allow hotter air to start moving up from the south once again. So it's been a rather cooler start to August through like the Midwest and some of those northeastern states, but I think we will see the heat coming back actually for northern northeast parts of America in the next sort of 7 to 10 days. There is a trough of low pressure coming off the Pacific into the Pacific Northwest, so obviously that's going to drag in much cooler air from the Pacific into the Northwest, which is kind of a very common occurrence of that to happen. So it's cooler and more unsettled up there, but I think most parts of the states are actually going to be quite hot in the 7 to 10 day time frame. The GFS is very similar. Placement of the ridge is slightly different, but basically got a ridge in the north and in the northeast tip, a trough in the northwest. Flow and jet can be doing something like that, and that allows the heat to push up from the south into many parts of the United States in the 7 to 10 day time frame. So you see this quite nicely on the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks for Columbus in Ohio, proper Midwest sort of state there. So the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Columbus, and we're starting off quite cool at the moment. It's been a cooler start to this August. That's going to carry on for a few more days, so for like the next 4 or 5 days it's going to be relatively cool and pleasant. I mean, it's still pretty warm, but cooler than it has been through this summer. But as we go through to like the mid and second half of next week, it does look as though the upper air temperatures then are lifting back up, going back towards 20 degrees at 850 HPA, and then going through the middle part of August and possibly even into the second half of the month, it does look as though things are pretty hot then for Columbus in Ohio. So I think that like the next 5 days or so going to be relatively cool, but expect things to get hotter as next week progresses through those midwestern and northern states. Precipitation wise, a lot of dry weather coming up over the next few days, but then precipitation spikes are coming back next week as it gets hotter. Looks like we'll probably be generating heavy showers and thunderstorms for Columbus. That's going to be pretty representative of many of those midwestern states, really, I think. So temperature anomalies from the 6th to the 14th of August. Generally quite a warm scene across many parts of the states. It is a little bit cooler though through some of these Midwestern states just here. That's because it's starting off quite cool, but expect these to trend hotter. These anomaly charts, expect these to trend hotter through the coming days. Out in the west, it looks pretty hot there, except in the far northwest, where have cooler air coming in off the Pacific. And over towards the eastern seaboard, also looking quite warm through there as well. So generally, it's a pretty warm scene through most parts of America in the week ahead. Precipitation-wise, generally most states are on the drier side, especially those western and southwestern states, of course, where you expect it to be very dry. It is very dry in the week ahead. Also in the north, though, so it's a little bit drier than average up there. Some of the sort of central eastern Midwestern states are a little bit wetter, but to be honest, most of those states are looking pretty dry, especially the ones out through the west. So this is how the GFS is looking currently. So we've got a trough of low pressure to the north, and we have got cooler air into the north as well. So these northern states, the cooler start to August that we've had through this August continues for the time being in those northern and some Midwestern states. Out to west of the southwest, it is much hotter through there. There's the upper air temperature showing that quite nicely. So yes, very hot over on the western side, pretty hot in the east and the southeast, and they have this cooler area just here. I mean, it's still pretty warm with the upper air temperatures because it's a continental landmass in the middle of summer, so even there it's pretty warm, but it is quite a lot cooler than we had back in July and through much of this summer up in the Midwest and through those northern states. As we go through the next few days, we're going to find this ridge intensifying up towards the northeast, and this will start to allow hotter air to draw back up from the south once again. So very gradually through the weekend into the early part of next week, we're going to see temperatures lifting up. There is a trough of low pressure up towards Canada just here that's going to try and push some cooler air down into those northern states just there, but overall many parts of states actually seeing hotter temperatures pushing back up from the south again through the course of the weekend and into the early part of next week. This is Monday. You see that by then those hotter upper air temperatures are starting to push back northwards again from the south, so many of the states becoming hotter by the time you go through to the early part of next week. Becoming very slack as well, so heavy showers and thunderstorms are likely to be triggered through next week with those hot temperatures. And yeah, so as we go through next week, just looking pretty hot really across many parts of America, with an increasing risk of thunderstorms breaking out. There's the upper air temperature, so it's particularly hot in the west and southwest, of course, as always, but generally all of the states looking like temperature lifts up through the course of next week, going back into the 90s Fahrenheit quite widely, I think, across many parts of America through the course of next week. We're heading up towards day 10 now, and it is a little bit cooler in the northwest. We've got a trough of low pressure and some cooler air coming in from off the Atlantic into the northwest. So up here, it's cooler and more showery. However, most parts of the states, again, we're drawing up these hot southerly winds as we have this ridge towards the north and the northeast, and that's allowing the heat to push back northwards along with the jet stream going north up to Canada, of course. There's the upper air temperatures again, showing many parts of the states are looking pretty hot around day 10. Perhaps towards the northeast, it's ever so slightly cooler up there, and out in the northwest, it is cooler through there. But most parts of America are hot up to day 10. And then into more extended range, we find that it stays pretty hot across many parts of America, but we start to get a few little disturbances appearing in the tropics. So we've got one over here in the Pacific. We need to keep an eye on that. There's also something just there off the coast of Texas. Now, it's a very long way out. This is the 18th of August, but it looks like some sort of disturbance area is developing in the Gulf of Mexico there. Actually, let's pull this out a little bit so we can see that Gulf of Mexico area a little bit better, because as we go further on, then we start to get another system pushing north into the Gulf of Mexico. This one just here. That could be a tropical storm or a hurricane coming out of the Gulf of Mexico and moving up towards the Gulf Coast. Remember, this is a very, very long way out. So this is the 22nd of August. But it implies that it's going to the second half of August. We may start to see the tropics of the Gulf beginning to liven up again. so have to watch out for that. It's a very long way out, but all eyes will be down in the tropics of the Gulf, I think, in the second half of August. Rare temperatures are looking hot across most parts of states, except in the far northwest, it's a bit cooler. But yeah, many parts of states looking hot. So the idea of this might be a slightly cooler August. It was a cooler start, but maybe it's going to turn out to be quite a hot August after the hot July, actually, despite that cooler start. This is how the ECM is looking. So again, in the north and through Midwest towards the northeast, it's a little bit cooler at the moment, but that's not going to last. We're going to go into the weekend, into the early part of next week, and start to draw up those hotter winds from the south. Once again, cooler air being restricted to Canada with these areas of low pressure just here. There's the upper air temperatures for the middle of next week with the Euro. And again, it's hot from west to east coast, really, across many parts of the states, looking pretty hot then. And then moving in towards the extended range, so heading up towards day 10. Again, we've got this ridge over towards the east and the northeast. There's a ridge just here that's allowing these hot winds to push up from the south. It is cooler in the northwest with this trough of low pressure coming in off the Pacific, so it's cooler up there. But many other parts of the states are looking hot as we move up towards day 10. So how the upper air temperatures look by the time we get to day 10, Sunday the 16th of August. Again, looking hot across most parts of America. Just the northwest looks a little bit cooler, but generally this is a hot sort of days 5 to 10 coming up across many of those northern, eastern, and midwestern states too. CFSV2 finally, so these are 500 millibar heights broken down to week periods. The first week period can take us from the 6th to 12th of August. Coming week is cooler in the northwest with this trough of low pressure. I'm just digging in just here, but the ridge is reforming. It's been an omnipresent feature through this summer, of course. The ridge is reforming towards the northeast, so gradually hotter air beginning to move up from the south. It takes a while, but hotter air is going to start to move up from the south. As we go through to week 2, which is the 13th to the 19th of August, this looks like it could be a genuinely hot week, really, across many parts of America, particularly the northern and midwestern states, with that ridge pulling up the hot air from the south. There is a trough of low pressure towards the west that will keep the Pacific Northwest cooler, but otherwise, yes, it does look pretty hot across most parts of America there around the middle part of August. Week 3 is the 20th, 26th of August. Again, a ridge up towards the northeast, again pulling up those hot winds from the south once more. And then week 4 is going to be 27th of August, 2nd of September. Again, a ridge is towards here, some low pressure towards here. Gradually, that ridge is weakening, though. So possibly by the end of August into early September, the idea could be that jet stream starting to come a little bit further south, possibly allowing things to cool down a little bit again into the end of August and the beginning of September. Temperature anomalies from the 6th to the 12th of August. So it's hot in the northeast, otherwise quite cool in the north. So it is starting cool, but we are going to see hotter air moving up from the south through the course of next week. So by the time we get through to week 2, which is the 13th to the 19th of August, it's gone much hotter again through many of these northern and midwestern states, looking much hotter through there. Cooler, though, out towards the west and towards the northwest as the air comes in off the Pacific. Week 3 is the 20th, 26th of August. Generally quite a hot scene across many, particularly northern states, nearer normal across these more southern states, perhaps. And then by the time we get through to week 4, which is 27th of August, 2nd of September, possibly just starting to cool down a little bit, particularly towards the Midwest by then, as the jet stream pattern starts to return southwards a bit. Precipitation-wise, we look like that, so quite wet over on the eastern side of the states in week ahead, week 1, 6th to 12th of August. Some thunderstorms coming through there. Drier up here in these northern states. Week 2 is going to be the 13th to 19th of August. So dry in the north and in the northeast. Wet down in towards the southeastern part of America, though. Wet down there through those southern and southeastern states. Week 3 is the 20th, 26th of August. So again, looking quite wet across these southern states. Now, could some of this be down to tropical developments? Looks quite wet through the Caribbean, for example. So maybe by this point, the CFS is beginning to pick up on tropical developments, perhaps. And then we go through to week 4, which is the 27th of August to the 2nd of September. Generally wet in the east and in the south. Also a bit drier in the northwest, and quite dry around Florida interestingly, from the 27th of August to the 2nd of September. So it looks like we're going to be seeing the weather getting hotter again across many of those northern midwestern states after what has been a cooler start to August. Definitely looks like things will be getting hotter again as we go through like next week and on up towards the middle part of August. Second half of August could have quite a bit of hot weather with it as well. Perhaps gradual cool down coming along as we go towards the last stages of the month and into the early part of September. Right, if you enjoyed this USA forecast, then please give us a thumbs up on video. Let us know in the comments what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then you'll be notified when we are releasing our forecast on a Monday and on a Thursday for the United States. Next one will be on Monday, but that's all for now, and thanks for watching.